Okay, this question is question number 8. It says, which of the following is the solution to the differential equation dy dx equals x squared over y with the initial condition y of 3 equals -2? All right, what's the first thing we need to do to solve a differential equation? Separate the variables. What do I have to do to do that? Multiply dx to the right, multiply y to the left. So if I do that, I get y dy equals x squared dx. Beautiful. Are my variables separated? Yes. What's the second step after I separate my variables? Integrate both sides. What is the integral of the left-hand side? Y dy. Good. Y squared over 2. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add the c to the right-hand side just because that's pretty standard notation. So I'm not going to add a plus c here because my constant will already be added to the other side. So I have not forgotten about it. I'm just waiting for it. What's the integral of x squared? X cubed over 3. Good. And I'm going to add that constant to this side. Now we have two options at this point. We can either continue to solve for y and wait till we have y isolated and then find our c value, or you can go ahead and use the initial condition now to find the c value and then go ahead and progress to solve for y. Which one do you want to do first? Solve for y first. Okay, what's the first thing I need to do in order to solve for y? Multiply by 2 on both sides. So I'm going to multiply by 2 here, multiply by 2 here, multiply by 2 here. So 2 times y squared over 2 is just y squared. 2 times x cubed over 3 is 2x cubed over 3. And 2 times a constant is what? A constant. So notice that I'm not going to write 2c, I'll just write c. All right, what's the next step to solving for y? Square root both sides. What do you get when you square root that? Plus or minus. Don't ever forget a plus or minus when you're taking a square root. Plus or minus the square root of 2x cubed over 3 plus c. Not necessarily, because if you look at our answer choices, I'm trying to match together. I see 3 of our answer choices that look similar to this. Do you guys see 3 that look similar to this? Yeah. C, D, and E all pretty much look similar to this, so maybe the constant is 0 or maybe it's -14. Both A and B don't really look much like this, so I'm assuming the people who did A and B probably took the integral incorrectly. So as long as we've taken our integral incorrectly, we can assume that the answer is either C, D, or E. So at this point in our problem, we have successfully isolated y. Now it's time to figure out what C is and then choose if we should keep the positive or the negative value for the square root. So how do I figure out what C is? Use the initial condition, which is at 3, -2. So if I plug in 3 for x, and -2 for y, that's kind of a dead giveaway of what my answer is. So I do 2 times 3 cubed over 3 plus c. Right? I could continue and I could solve for c, and we'll do it together just to show you guys. But it's kind of an obvious choice, right? No matter what c is here, which one am I going to choose, the positive or the negative? I have to choose the negative because I want my answer to be negative, right? If y is supposed to equal a -2 right here, then I have to choose the negative square root. There's no other way for that square root to become negative unless I keep this negative here. So that's kind of a dead giveaway that my answer is going to be E, but I always second guess myself on problems. I would want to make sure and verify that I also get -14 for a C value. So let's go ahead and do that. First things first, how do I get rid of this square root on this side? Square both sides. So what do you get when you square -2? 4, and then we'll square this, and that'll get rid of that that square root. So let me continue up here. So I have 4 equals 2 times 3 cubed over 3. What is 2 times 3 cubed over 3? 18? Good, because we have 3 cubed is 27. Well, 27 divided by 3 is 9, and 9 times 2 is 18. And then if you subtract 18 from both sides, you get -14. So yeah, negative 14 is equal to C. Therefore, my final answer is answer choice E.